What's up, brother and sister? How are you? Welcome back to the Nick and Izzy show. It's a Saturday evening in the tri-state area. I'm in New Jersey right now, and Nick, you're over in New York, right? What are you in Long Island, I think? Yeah.
Yeah, Long Island, yeah.
And then Steve, you're like down in New Jersey as well, too, right? You're in my home state.
Jersey, absolutely.
Look at
Okay,
that.
so
New Jersey versus New York. Ow, no, I'm just kidding.
just so we describe who that voice is, we've known this voice for a long time when he used to work on the radio station, one of the radio stations he did back then at WABC, where Izzy and I work now.
Yes.
And now he's moved over to WOR, and I think you work 8 to 4 a.m. Is that right, Steve?
You got it.
Okay, so he works the late evening into the overnight, but Izzy and I know as the tough, try not to fall asleep shift.
Well, in the last couple of months, there's actually been news to report, so it's been more interesting than you might think. I also do Hudson Valley Station 92.9 WBPM, so I'm always busy there in the newsroom and all alone.
So, what has it been like working news? Have you been doing stuff at home, or you're just going into studio?
I'm there. I am there taking the risk. I take the bus to the subway. I get in there. The mask comes off, and the mic goes on, and it's nonstop. I also do writing for the NBC News Radio Wire. Not a dull moment when I'm there.
So,
I also see Bob Brown. Are you guys aware of that?
Oh, you do see Bob.
Oh, right, because you're in the same place where the Total Traffic stuff is taking place. So,
correct.
Yeah.
So we're competing radio stations, but we actually see each other 4 days a week.
What do you got, Izzy?
Oh my gosh. I gotta tell you guys, it's funny in the radio industry because everybody knows each other. Like it looks like such like a big industry, which I guess you could say it kind of is though. But at the same time, it's just like when the microphones are off, everybody knows this person, that person knows that person. But that's amazing, Steve. See, we gotta really get you back over by where we're at because we miss you so much, brother. Let me tell you something about me and Steve though, guys. We used to I used to do your newscast on a station actually, and this was what was it about a year and a half ago now since all the changes and everything.
Yep.
And I'll never forget this actually happened early in the morning too, and this was so funny because this was when we had Rabbi Joe. He was coming upstairs to the station, and this is when he was live from 7:30 to 9.
Religion on the Line.
Yeah, Religion on the Line. Right, used to be called Religion on the Line. Now it's called the Reverend the Rabbi Show there on 77 WABC New York. And it was so funny because let me tell you guys something about Steve. The one morning he texted me and he was just like, "Hey man, do you want some coffee from Starbucks?" And I was just like, yeah, because I knew like you were working, Steve. And I was just like, wait, is he going to Starbucks to bring coffee here? And then when I saw the rabbi bring it up with the bagels, because he used to bring bagels every Sunday morning. And I was just like, oh my freaking goodness. I said, so that's who's coordinated with him to get the coffee and everything like that. Because I was just like, that's very interesting. But I got to ask you, brother, yeah. You're going into the city right now. So what is the environment like over there? Just like in Radio Land now, because I got to tell you, things right now with this virus has caused so many things to kind of go like out of loop, I guess you could say, because like we don't have like everybody in our office right now working at the station. We have some people that are working at home. We have some of us that are going in. Nick and I, we've been going into the city the whole entire time. And, we've been having the mask and stuff on too.
Right.
But, so you guys have to wear like gloves and all that kind of stuff? Because I know one of my other friends, he was working at Alt 92.3 in the city. And he said that he has to put gloves on now when he hits buttons and does the pots on the soundboard.
Up in the studio, we don't. Once we're in the studio, no gloves, no mask, but we do wipe everything down. Or at least that's what I'm saying. In between, some do, some don't. In between shifts. We also have a cleaning lady that comes in and does a deep clean. But on the subway, that mask is on. And if someone sits down next to me that doesn't have a mask on, First, I give them a very dirty look, which they probably can't see because the mask's covering half my face. But if I have to, I get up and move. And some of them are like, "Yeah, I don't care. you move. Your problem." But once we get into the elevator and we're up on our floor, all that stuff comes off.
Now,
wow.
Have you had to make adjustments on air? Because, like, for us, we've had to make adjustments on air, and board ops have been stretched, full timers have been stretched. Has there been like stretching of positions over at OR?
There's been some furlough that's going on within the company. There was one board op who used to be on at night, and then I came in one day, and it was a different person from the weekend, and I was like, we'll call him Bob because that's his name. And I said, "Oh, hey, Bob, how you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm in for so-and-so. He's sick, but it's not COVID-19. Don't worry." And that was 2 months ago. So I don't know what is going on with that other guy. We also have some of our news staff are taking some temporary furloughs planned out. We're union, so we have a little bit more control over how that's done. Knock on wood over here. Ow. I
do that all the time. Okay.
Right. But I only recently went full time in April, so I'm not furloughed because of how they compute who falls into that category. It came up as I wouldn't make enough money. Now, if it happens again next year, then I would have to take a furlough. But yeah, I mean, most of the other radio stations that iHeart has, those are music stations. And from what I understand, honestly, I don't know if this is any big secret. No one has said don't say this. As far as I've been told, everyone is at home. Everybody. There's like nobody in those other studios for the most part. I'm live, and I don't have the capacity to be live from home, except when I'm doing your podcast, but not in a regular capacity. So I just go into the city and I do my thing and try not to let people cough on me. Can I tell you?
Well, I'll say one thing. I was talking to, and you might know this name well. You know Dave Stewart, right?
Sure.
From CBS FM. I was talking to him last night, and he said to me that he has a full DJ setup in his house. Yep. And he told me, and like you said, with all the furloughs going on in the different companies, he's doing 7 days a week DJ shifts. Like they really expanded out. So I totally get what you're talking about, where Entercom is being affected, iHeart's being affected, even us now being a private entity, technically, that's no secret, that we've seen furloughs everywhere. So,
and one thing that listeners may not realize is that it's not just, we want everybody to be safe, so we don't want people in the studio. It's also advertisers. What do you got to advertise? Hi, we're still closed. Now back to, the radio surgery, you know how that goes. There are... And hats off to President Carter. I've been waiting 24 hours to do that.
I gotta tell you, Steve, I think that's what the challenge is with the radio industry now. I mean, with all the furloughs and everything, it's so depressing and so sad, because what you were saying with the advertisers is now with the virus and all of these companies being shut down and closed, it is so difficult, I feel like, for these businesses now to even give like $5,000 or maybe $10,000, depending on like a contract or whatever sales is working with them on now, because like they're struggling so bad, some of them, unfortunately. And it's one of these things where it's going to be very interesting, I think, to see how things
we actually just had one. We just had one advertiser come back to WOR, 1877 Cars for Kids.
Oh,
just
God.
Rejoined with us.
They haven't left us yet.
Oh gosh, yeah. They that thing is, yeah. It's, I guess they're making a lot of money on 1-800 cars. 1877 Cars for Kids. I guess they see there's so many different things out there. Like, I'm thinking of 1-800 Got Junk, because that's 1-800 Got Junk, and then 1877 Cars for Kids. They always change the lineup. Have you guys noticed that though? Like how they have like 1 week they have a girl singing the theme, and then the next week's like another person singing the theme, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this, they got like a whole like choir and people going on too.
Right. And it's so crazy how things are happening, and just well, I don't know what you're gonna do going forward, right, Izzy?
Oh yeah, I think we. Oh, did we lose Steve? I think we did. Oh, okay.
All right, we'll wait for Steve to come back. But while we're waiting for Steve to come back, Izzy, it's been crazy in our business trying to get through the coronavirus pandemic ups and downs, right?
Yes, my friend, it has been wild. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm touching my face a little bit. I just my allergies.
You're gonna get the virus, Izzy.
Oh gosh, I hope not. Even though I think I actually really did have it before, but no, it has been crazy. I got to tell you though, brother. I mean, what I've been doing, like I was just telling my friend Rodney that I live with here, that I've been asking my friends, like if their parents are okay, and if they're okay with like going out. I've been hanging out with some people recently because there's just so many opinions and so many different things, and I really don't know what to believe anymore. But it's going to be interesting to see like where we're going to be at, I think, in a couple more months, because I just saw like on TV that there's an area, actually Morristown, New Jersey, that's by my house, that there was a lot of kids and young people that were at like this pub or this bar, and they were outside doing outdoor seating and everything, what they're allowed to do in this New Jersey now. And they said that they didn't really social distance and no one was really wearing masks, which I said to myself, I was just like, very interesting, because I feel like too sometimes, I mean, restaurants, I guess, like, when you're there, I mean, you definitely can't eat with the mask on, but it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't know. It's interesting how people are going to, how people are kind of like handling everything. I really think that there's so many opinions out there that people are just doing their own thing now. And I think we got Steve back, matter of fact.
Yes.
We
did. We had a little internet hiccup. Excuse me.
Oh, it's all good, bro.
Must have been the doctor from that show, not thinking I was funny. So we're back. We're back now. Yeah, the radio industry is just facing a lot of challenges. They're trying to find advertisers, and of course, they're on the music side. They're competing with Pandora and all of these other things. We got to give them something they can't get anywhere else, where they want to join us, where they feel like we're a friend, we're somebody that they know, and but we got to have that money coming in also.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you say that, because we see Pandora, like you said, working the deal with satellite radio, and everything is changing. Podcast medium. I know this working with John Batchelor. I'm a freelance producer for his show, and working on the podcast space, he's doing 5.5 to 6 million downloads a month with a podcast alone. We're not even talking about, I don't know the exact numbers for the radio ratings for around the country, but that's just in podcast downloads. So I just know how crazy this business can be. So it's nuts. Go ahead.
Yeah. And oh gosh, I mean, I got to tell you too, though, guys. I think honestly, what's going to happen with the radio industry is a lot of people keep saying that radio's dying. Now, I don't think it is personally, because I think it's going in a different direction, because there's so many different streaming sites out here now that you have too. Like you were saying, Steve, with Pandora. Yeah, I mean, iHeartRadio itself, they have a huge app where they have all different kinds of radio stations that are on the app. Yes. And I mean, the thing too, I mean, our station's on iHeart's app as well too. And I mean, you have actually really all of them are really on there. And it's, I'm praying for everyone. I really am, because I would say with the advertiser standpoint, I mean, a lot of these companies too, they have different revenue that comes off of their web stream than what they have that goes out over the airwaves, because on the actual airwaves itself, like if you're listening to like WBLS or Hot 97, you can sell a lot of ad space locally, which will be good. So you can make money that way on top of the national advertisers as well too. But a lot of people right now, I mean, if I could imagine, are paying for like coronavirus ads, because I hear so many of those on there now.
Also, what happens is that a lot of people can be listening to the stream. The stream numbers do not factor into the Nielsen ratings. So you could have 1 million people listening, whether they're in New York or across the country, doesn't impact your Nielsen's at all. And we both work on AM stations, and let's face it, doesn't sound, but if you listen to the stream, in that way, you're not helping the ratings, and you're not helping, keeping the money coming in the same way. It's kind of hard to know which way to pivot.
It's kind of interesting too, guys, because I asked myself this the other week, and I was just like, I wonder if like eventually with the AM and FM dials, if stations are going to start going more towards having just like a web stream instead of having just the AM and FM dial, which, I personally feel like, the AM and FM dial is something that just started radio, back in the day. I mean, I was, it's interesting too, because one of my brothers, Race Taylor, that was on 95.5 PLJ, which was our sister station. Race mentioned something on the air, and he was saying, not only Race though, but actually PLJ's whole morning show. They mentioned something, and they said about how terrestrial radio, there's like nothing else like it, because like you have people who they listen to that and they get excited when they win tickets and when they win money, and then like you're on the air talking with them and you're talking directly to them. You have people calling you up at that very moment. It's just very live and local, and some people really love that. Myself, I mean, I love live and local radio personally, and I just wonder what's going to happen if, God forbid, like anything ever goes down to where they decide to just get rid of like AM and FM completely.
Yeah.
And I also wonder too, like how financially that's going to affect a lot of stations, because most likely they're going to be saving a lot of money doing that, which I don't think they're going to actually do that though, because they have such a broad audience on the AM and FM dials already. But it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to work something like that.
I also think that in the me generation, we're getting into a little bit more of that. I think that one person winning tickets is very exciting for that one person. But to everyone else, it's like, I didn't get anything. What do I care? I'm not saying we all feel that way. I'm saying it's very different. Like, I grew up in an age where there wasn't the internet, there wasn't YouTube, there wasn't Pandora. There was, if you want to win tickets, you have to, keep track of the songs they play and call in to win and all of that. And it's different now. People are texting in their request if they even, bother. And so what ends up happening is radio has to change with the way things are. I like the way things are, but that it, you know what I mean? It's a business, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I killed that conversation.
No, you're good. You're good, brother. I'm like over there. I'm sitting there thinking. I'm just like, yeah, no. I mean, you're completely right about that. And I think honestly, dude, because the thing with the web stream that's very interesting with a lot of things is, it's like if you start giving tickets out over the air on the web, then you're gonna have to probably most likely start sending stuff to people who are going to be possibly not even only in the country, but throughout the world, because I'm sure there's people listening on different apps and stuff like that, like throughout the whole world, not even just like our country.
I would just like to see all the sources, every possible way you can access a station. I'd like to see all of that go into the ratings. If someone's listening on the app because it sounds clear or because they don't buy a standalone radio, it should still count. So, hey, someone's listening to ABC. Someone's listening to WOR. Oh, you're listening on the app. Oh, we don't care about that. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, because
I don't think it's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you right now, Steve, I bet you, dude, that if the ratings got tied in with the web stream, I bet you stations right now would probably be back in the 10s into the 15s and stuff. I guarantee you they probably would be.
It's all splintered now,
I mean, what's interesting also is all the nationally syndicated programming that's on the air. We're seeing that a lot more. We're seeing that at ABC. We have syndicated programming right now, at least from, I think it's, 6 o'clock to 6 in the morning, pretty much. Yep. And I think you have it from, from noon to basically the overnight.
I think we're syndicated, let me just think, noon until 6 p.m. Then we have a local show. Then it goes back to syndicated satellite. We have the radio surgery hour at midnight, 7 days a week, because that's very important. And then we have Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, and that is syndicated.
That's like our competing overnights, Red Eye versus Coast to Coast.
Red Eye Radio.
I haven't heard a really good impression of that, Steve. Damn.
It comes naturally to me, and it's something that could be taken as it could be taken as offensive to a lot of people, I'm sure. It's just something that comes naturally to me. I pick up on speech patterns and mannerisms and maybe people, before news people can be very funny off of the air. Before you go on, we're doing an impression maybe of what we're hearing, or I'm making strange sounds to the engineer, whatever. Once I'm live, I take it very seriously. But when I first got into radio, I wasn't looking to be a news guy. Before that, traffic. I wasn't looking to be the traffic guy. I used to get, lost going out the wrong side of the building. And when I was younger, I was just looking to be more maybe entertaining, but it's not something that I complain about. And news is something I really do follow. It's not like it's a chore or something. It's just that now I have my fun when the mic is closed. It's the reverse of what I was hoping. Be a serious person when the mic is off.
How has the newsroom? Oh, go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to say, Steve was one of the funnier guys. Just on the weekends when we'd just be sitting there, him and I would just be BSing back and forth while the weekend news. All right, what do you hear? What do you hear? What's going on the weekend? What paid program is on this weekend? And
right,
that was more entertaining than what was on air. But I guess that's what pays the bills, right, Izzy?
Oh gosh, yeah. Now, Steve, how has the newsroom been, brother? Like since all this has started with the virus, like have you guys been having to like work even faster now to get stories on the air because there's so much breaking news? Because it just seems like, from what I could see, you have so many different opinions and different people saying this and saying that like every hour. And I mean, I go on social media, dude, and I mean, like, there's so many people that are just like coming out with like, oh, breaking news. Fauci said this. Breaking news. Donald Trump said, nope, it's not happening. How are you guys like? Are you guys having to move so much more faster now, or is it kind of like the same pace? Or how has that environment been since
we are moving a lot faster than we used to be? And then there have also been times, because we even say in our outro, we say next news at, let's say 9, next news at 9, breaking news at once. And so something big will come up and I will ask the engineer, I'm like, okay, I think I have breaking news at once. Are we going to break into this show? Are we going to, what is this, a paid show? Is this a syndicated show? What's the story? We try and get in touch with different people. And more often than not, they're like, well, we're getting to the top of the hour. You can just do it then. But the thing is that we'll have sound cuts from various sources, and they'll say, we're not quite sure why, and I have to make sure that that is the most up-to-date thing, because by the time I go live, we may know what the thing is. And you need to sound dominant. You need to sound like you need to know what you're talking about, not just sound like it. You need to actually have facts in front of you. And sometimes the sources you're getting it from are a little behind, or they haven't updated their website in a couple of hours, because we're all pooling off of each other a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. It's difficult, and also off-air people and people that are doing non-live work, even on the air, for the most part, they are not working out of the news studio. They are at home right now. And so now I have to message people and, hey, can you write this? Did you hear about that? And, oh, I'm sorry, I was on the phone. Oh, well, that not very helpful, but okay, So it's difficult because you don't have people right next to you like you used to.
Right.
So I want to ask one thing, Izzy. So I know you're a movie buff. I see you posting the movie stuff all the time on Facebook. So has it been tough not being able to go to a movie theater?
I just stream everything at home now. If movie theaters were to open tomorrow, I wouldn't go, honestly, right now. As much as I'd like to see a current release, me personally, I just worry still too much about the virus. It doesn't mean I go to a movie once and now I'm on a respirator, but why even get close to it? Why chance it? Like right now, I'd like to see Pete Davidson's movie, The King of Staten Island. But it costs you like $20 to stream it at home. And I mean, I'm getting New York money. I can afford $20, but it would be great for $20 to see it on the big screen.
New York money. That's great, Steve.
I didn't say top New York money, but it's New York Union money.
What's
New York Union money, which is probably pretty good.
New York money has a picture of Cuomo on it.
And Blasio, right?
Yeah. By the way, it's lowercase d e space capital B, de Blasio. 2 words.
Please tell me you got
to get one word and it's all uppercase. It's wrong.
Please tell me you got a kick out of Cuomo finally ending his streak of not holding his briefings anymore.
That's fine. He's usually done with those by the time I get to work. So some I've seen, some I haven't. I'm sure it's a load off his mind.
Pretty much. I mean, I think he held a conference call today, or I think that's what he did. I'm not 100% sure because I'm so used to watching it on TV, but I think I got tired of him speaking anyway.
The fun thing with Governor Cuomo, and again, this is not meant in any way, shape, or form to be disrespectful, but he is very easy to edit. If I'm ever like, I can't play this 37-second clip because he will talk and then he will continue and it will cut. And it's very simple for me to cut out those pauses or even cut out 2 words if there's a stumble or something and make it like an 8-second clip. And I can get in another story to the listeners instead of the whole clip.
Yeah, because the way that he talks is he does. He actually pauses sometimes, and then it's interesting how he talks. And
his brother does not talk like that. If you ever you would never know that Chris was related if you were just listening to audio. It's very different.
It is because they have 2 totally, I guess, like different personalities or something like that. And then you have it where it's just like.
I wonder what would happen if you called the governor Fredo. Would he freak out like his brother did? My goodness.
Well,
that shocked me. I'm not Italian, but that shocked me.
They're too busy. They're too busy having their Together segment on CNN.
Yeah.
But
oh gosh, guys, I really hope that in a couple more months we're going to be in like a better situation. I really hope so, because I mean, like right now, I think people are just. I also think too, with people being caught up and locked up in the house so much, it's just like, oh my god, they just want to like go out and get some air and.
Yeah.
But I think the best thing we can do is stay positive, and I really think though by the end of the year it's going to be different for radio. I think we're still going to be on FM and AM, but I think when it comes to the web stream, I think a lot of stations are going to be going towards like that a lot more too. Because I'll tell you, I mean, even at WABC, we have people that call in at night from Ohio. We have people calling in from like Minnesota. We got people calling in from like California. We got this one guy that he's always listening to us on his classic AM terrestrial radio in his 1977 Chevy Caprice. It's the freaking best thing ever. His name is Bob from like North Carolina, and he always calls in. He's just like
probably has an 8-track player in there. This is the John Batchelor Show. I'm John Batchelor.
Thing guys should see. He's just like, oh yeah, my name is Bob, and I'm calling from night. And that's a first. It's always like it's so funny. He's almost like a voiceover actor. I feel like he's just like, my name is Bob, and I'm calling from my 1977 Chevy Caprice down in Durham, North Carolina. How you doing?
Yes, because that's the story.
Yeah. No, it's so hilarious.
But it's like you said, Steve, like, so being with WOR and iHeart radio station, you have the iHeart radio app, or for us, we have the WABC app, or any other company. You have, for Entercom, you have the radio.com app. So apps are going to be the new thing, and Spotify is taking over the podcast space, and that's just the new way things are going to be, I guess.
Yeah. It's amazing how these people are making money on the internet too.
It's what you have to do, because if you don't embrace new media, you're just going to lose money. You have to find a way to monetize whatever you can get. Oh, people are listening on the web. Let's throw them a banner ad. Let's throw them a pre-roll ad. You just have to find and make, we're in this because we enjoy it. There are businesses where we could make a lot more money. But we like radio. That's why we do it.
Yeah. And you definitely can make a lot of money in radio too. I think it's just like, a little bit of a process with it, but you can definitely get there. I always say to people, I said, hey
Papa
man,
Booey.
What happened?
No, he said Bob.
Nick gets it.
Yes, I got it.
I think I kind of get it a little bit.
That's Howard Stern's sidekick, Izzy. If you're a radio nerd, you get that.
Oh, so. God, I haven't listened to this show in so long because I don't have Sirius in my car. I have.
You want to go classic back? WNBC, yes.
WNBC.
So yes, that's what he's referring to, Izzy. So, all right, Izzy, you got anything else you want to ask before we get out of here?
I think that's it, actually, because the only thing I can ask you, Steve, is to keep doing you, baby. Keep doing a great job on
You saying Izzy loves me?
Izzy does love you, Steve.
Izzy loves everybody. It's cool.
Steve, I have to say this.
Oh, that's another thing too. You know what's amazing? You know what I love about you too? Okay, so brother and sister, if you guys thank you so much for following my posts too. If you guys follow my posts and I type up Izzy loves you, hashtag Wegmans, hashtag this food is awesome, Steve always puts on the bottom of the comments will be hashtag Izzy loves food, hashtag Izzy loves no carrots, hashtag Izzy loves McDonald's ice cream. I just love when you put that down though, because you start you start these new hashtags and I freaking love it, dude. It's so awesome.
I gotta say one thing, because I know Steve, he'll be watching my posts from time to time, and all of a sudden, if I'm having a bad day on the train, he all of a sudden, if I'm getting angry and I'm calling out LIRR, I see it. He's the first one to comment every single time. He's like, "Oh, okay, Nick's having a problem with the train again." Yep.
Well, I like people to know that I hear them. Maybe I can get a laugh out of them, put them in a good mood for a couple of minutes.
You definitely do.
I think it's what we all do on social media. We're not just there to read. We're there to make it a little more interactive.
Well, you would hope, unless you're getting people who are posting GIFs and all that weird stuff that they see on social media. But, all right, Izzy, you ready to end here?
I think I am all ready to... Well, you know what I am ready for? I'm ready for hashtag Izzy needs some coffee. That's what I'm ready for it now, before I go into this evening, actually.
Thank you for having me on the show very much. I sound like an AM radio station.
Yes,
thank you for having me on your podcast. It was fun. I appreciate you thinking of me.
Absolutely. We've
been talking. No problem. Absolutely.
We've been talking to everybody in the radio industry, especially the people we know, because they're right in the thick of things, right in the middle of the coronavirus. So we thought, hey, Steve's working the overnights at OR. It doesn't get any more real than being in the city.
You got that right. And I'll tell you this one last story. There are no subways in the overnight hour because they're doing the deep cleaning. So we have essential connector buses, and I'm considered essential. I thank you. But as I do the 2-block walk, I find myself walking in the street and not on the sidewalk because there are rats that are out racing me. They're going for the trash. They're trying to break into restaurants. I won't say which ones, but and then I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm in New York. It's common there. I don't see a lot of rats here in Jersey. I mean, there are people that are rats here. But they're not crawling along the ground. And it's not like I'm afraid of a mouse. It's not like I'm Alice on the Brady Bunch standing up on the table. Yes, I have seen them. It's more like if that friggin' thing touches my leg with all of its disease and the fact that it was just in this trash bag. So that's what it's like in the city now, because they've gotten very aggressive because they can't find regular food anywhere. There's actually an article, and from a legitimate source, that says they're eating each other now.
Oh,
really?
Not a good time to be a rat.
Oh my God!
Or a person that's being a rat,
or a person that's trying to outrun and try to get to the M20 bus.
Oh,
so, in closing, I thought I would talk about rats in case anyone's having a late dinner.
Yeah, be careful, brother and sister, with those rats in the city. Because, child, let me tell you, them things are big, and they got big ass tails too. When they're like walking around and stuff like that, they really do. They're disgusting. They're freaking just so nasty because and they run next to you. Like you'll be walking down like 33rd Street and they'll just freaking run next to you like there's no problem. Like they never even, like you're just like another family member to them. It's crazy. Because I saw that happen with one lady once where she was like walking in front of me and this rat actually came out of like nowhere and big long ass tail and stuff. And freaking, it was like white and black. Oh, so nasty. And then that thing was like running right past her foot and stuff. And she was like, "Oh my goodness, did you just see that?" And I was like, I looked at her. I was like, "Girl, that rat was freaking major. Did you see that? That thing scared the heck out of me, and I wasn't even near it."
I had a rat coming towards me down the stairs while I was going up out of the station. I was like, "You did."
Hey, let me tell you something, Steve. That freaking pizza rat that was out over the air last year, you will only probably see something like that in New York City. And then on top of it, a week later, you have another rat that he was probably drunk off freaking Hennessy because he had an empty Hennessy bottle in his freaking mouth.
Next week on Nick and Izzy, the boys interview Pizza Rat. Tune in for that.
That's it. All right, Izzy.
Can you imagine that? That whole interview would probably be like,
yeah. All
right now, traffic is next.
All right, Izzy, close out.
Oh man, thank you so much, brothers and sisters, for watching another episode of the hashtag Nick and Izzy show. Hashtag Steve Greenfield is awesome. Hashtag Nick Morganson's awesome. Hashtag Izzy loves you. And hashtag Izzy needs some coffee right now. And I love you. Actually, hashtag Izzy loves you too, brothers and sisters. And we will talk to you very soon right here on the Nick and Izzy show on Facebook Live, baby. And also YouTube too. Don't forget to check out our new YouTube channel too, Nick and Izzy show on YouTube. And we would so greatly appreciate it, brother and sister, if you can just head right on over there and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell button as well too, because you know what's going to happen when you hit that bell button. You are going to get notifications on your phone that says when we come out with a new video, it's going to let you know that there's a new Nick and Izzy video out there. And also give those videos out there a thumbs up if you like it, or if you kind of thought something was a little funky, just give it a little thumbs down and we'll try to, diagnose it more and fix it. But with hashtag Izzy loves you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Good night, everybody.